Time for the final day of the tour, and we've just been back via the Audi forum in Ingolstadt where we've handed back the R8 Plus. Sad times because it has been an absolutely epic journey in that car. It has been so good for driving around the mountains and just everything we've been using it for. The new gearbox is a truly marked up step on the previous model. But now, before we head back home, we're at BMW. That means we're taking a look at the i8. I had a little drive with the i8 in London not too long ago, but we're back here to test it out a little bit further because previously it was a really quick drive. So the i8, a little bit different from some of the hybrid cars we've been looking at this trip, as it falls into the £100,000 price category, not the £1 million price category. The i8 is 357 brake horsepower, comes from a 3-cylinder 1.5 litre engine, combustion engine, generating about 200 of that, and then a electric setup for the other 150. 0 to 62, 4.4 seconds. And as you can see, it looks seriously cool, incredibly futuristic. We actually picked it up just inside the building behind me, where it was all sort of plugged in, of course. But I just love the way the design was done and how all of this, it's just like a concept car really. And then through to the interior as well. Just all around cool. So we're going to take it out, shoot a few little videos and get to know the i8 a little bit better, which I'm quite looking forward to. So I think one of the things to me that's the coolest, and I talked about it in the first video, is how the car with all of these shapes and swoops and different colours sort of transferred over from the sort of concept. It looks like a concept car that's made production. There's a funny little thing everybody on the internet always talks about, and what you've seen you can't unsee. This looks like a Porsche 911 in here. But the design is absolutely brilliant, there's no question about it. All the sort of blue touches that sort of signify the electric hybrid side of things. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's a 2+2, so there are back seats, but they're not the most spacious in the world. This car is obviously finished in the silver. Has the 20-inch optional, I think, wheels, which look very nice. Got the key here. So the key itself, you have a standard BMW, well, the new i-style key, but the standard button layout, so unlock the car. Doors, there's a button on the back, and they open up butterfly style. Now, as you get in, you have a pretty high sill here that you've got to get over to get into the seat, so it's a little bit awkward, but it is very nice when you're inside, and you're greeted by this BMW i display. So let's close the door. So, let's turn it on. One press of the start-stop. Comes into life. Navigation, oh, that's cool. You can see we're right outside the Allianz Arena here, football stadium here at Munich, which is right there. But the dials are on now. Obviously here you've got the speedometer. It automatically knows speed limits and the like, shows you there, digital speed readout. You can scroll through what's displayed in that bottom corner with that button, which goes through the trip and the usual stuff you have in a car like that. Down at the bottom you've got the petrol gauge, the state of electric charge, and then the respective ranges, your gear, and then the current trip. In the centre here, usual date, time stuff. So this dial, this shows you as the car is charging, this shows you as you're using power, so it will always run off electric power until you get to almost 50% when the engine will kick in. And it does it incredibly well. It's really cool. And then in the middle it will show you comfort, or if you go to Eco Pro, it will say Eco Pro on the display. So it's very self-explanatory, and it's very nice and works very well. And if I just push it over to Sport, oops, sorry, press the button. There we go. You could hear it fire into life, and then the dials go red, and we've got Sport, and we're back to a traditional rev counter. All does exactly what you would expect it to, really. It's nice, and if you press the eDrive button, it says Max eDrive at the bottom, and basically it will always be an eDrive unless you really are pushing it on, and then you press P to put it back into park, of course, so we're not going anywhere. Pull away in the hybrid mode, so basically we're going to be running on electric motors right now, which is that eerie sort of silence with a sort of UFO-like buzz to it, and this is what I sort of love about cars like this. It's so cool. But then if you put your foot down, like I will in a second, I'm just following a cyclist at the moment, you will hear the combustion engine springing into life. It's turned on and away we go. Back to sort of normal. Nice. And you have a rev counter onto the manual gears. And I actually really like that noise. It's very, very BMW. In fact, everything about this car is very BMW. But it's quite a cool upshift, little sort of pop you've got going on there. And I mean, it sort of does everything you'd expect it to do, really. Surprisingly quick. But no, it's a very impressive drive. My first impression of being able to drive outside of London, because before now I've only done a test drive, sort of 30 miles per hour, has been very, very positive. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. We're all done then back at the airport, Munich airport, before flying back to London. The end of an epic adventure. This trip has been incredible. The R8 V10 Plus, a wonderful car for driving around the Alps. We've had so much fun. And then the experiences with the Porsche 918 and the McLaren P1. This is something I'm never going to forget. And today, just to top it off, taking out the BMW i8. It has been a supercar trip that I would dream about. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I hope you've enjoyed it, following the adventure, keeping up with it all. But now, sadly, it has come to an end for now. I'm sure there'll be many more though, so do please be subscribed to the Shmee150 channel. Check out all the other content and videos from this trip. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. This is an R8 V10 Plus, the flagship when they launched the new sort of. Here we are in the Porsche 918. Key in, turn it on. You're immediately in E mode.